Here is a continuation of the previous class where we are going to plot some charts. We have seen variety of charts in the previous class, right? Today I am going to tell you the components of various charts and how do we plot the chart, right? How do we plot the chart? That's what we are going to do. Should I? Yeah. Now, what you need to do is, just let me tell you the components of the charts. First and foremost, then how do we plot the chart? There are two sections today which I am going to teach you. What are the different types of charts we have, which you have seen in the previous class? How do we identify the various components of a chart? Number one. Number two is, we'll take an example, draw a table, right? And with the help of the data, we shall chart, right? Normally, there are two different types of charts are there, broadly, right? Though there are 11 of them are there. One is called as 2D chart and the one is called as 3D chart. What do you mean by 2D chart? Two-dimensional, where X and Y axis. X and Y axis. X axis is called as horizontal one, Y axis is called as vertical one. This is a 2D. Now, your MS Excel is capable of even plotting 3D graph. Right? For example, if you want a bar chart, if you want a columnar chart, right? If you want your XY bar, or if you want your area chart, right? Or you want a cone chart, or a pyramid chart, or a cylindrical chart. The same thing can be displayed in 2D and 3D. Right? In 2D and 3D. What do you mean by 2D? 2 means you are going to look at the diagram in terms of two dimensions, where X and Y axis will be there. Now, there are certain features MS Excel do offer us. They are 3D charts. Namely, right? We have any diagram for that. 11 of them we have seen in the previous class. Same thing here. We will have an X-axis, you will have an Y-axis, and you will have a Z-axis. Right? First and foremost, let me tell you what are the components of that chart. If there is a chart, if you are contemplating on two-dimensional, this is how it goes. The first component is called as X-axis. X-axis, whenever you deal with the horizontal one, is called as X-axis. Second one is, this is Y-axis is meant for what? Whenever you deal with the vertical one, is called as Y-axis. And I am going to include, you may have a huge voluminous data, but you are going to take a part of it, and I am going to draw the diagram, or I am going to plot the diagram based on part of the data. It's called as data series. You may have, here look at what we call the blackboard. You have a huge, as I told you before, electronic spreadsheet is a huge one. Now, I have used, it should be other way around. It should be 1, 2, 3, and this should be ABC. This is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth, and sixth rows are here. Okay, what the first column is? Eighth column, B column, C column, D, E, F, and so on. Right? I am going to fill the number. Toy 1, truck, doll, puzzle game. It's all about a game, right? How it is sold in 4 different parts of this country. Okay. Now, the northern part of India, southern part of India, eastern part of India, and western part of India. Right? Let's say that a company who manufactures the variety of toys. Right? What are the different types of toys are there? Each toy has got a code number. T stands for truck, D stands for doll, P stands for puzzle, R stands for rocker, and E stands for educational. They manufacture a variety of products, right? Variety of products. Each one has been given a number and each one just called as a name of the toys, truck, doll, puzzle, rocker and educational game. Now, the company wants to know which part of the country where the sales being done better. Now, instead of showing, for example, the truck, normally the boys tend to play with the truck. The girls they use the doll. Right? Now what happens is the truck, the northern part is what does it say? The northern part of India, 1,000 trucks are sold all over India. Then southern part of this 1750. In eastern part of India 1600. In western part of India 1200. Right? Now this is also because normally the trucks are big. Truck, car, this is not used by the boys. How do the girls child do it? They use the dolls. Right? Now here what happens is dolls. 2000 is sold in northern part of India, 760 in southern part of India, eastern part of India is 860 and 1300. Now I select the whole lot. This selection of this region is called as data region. Data series. What do you mean by data series? Data series means I enter this puzzle, rocker and education. Now I enter the data and I select from here A1 to F6. A1 to F6 is the range that has been chosen. I am going to plot the chart based on this data series. Right? Then chart area. What do you mean by chart area? Based on the number which is fed by the user, it is going to plot the diagram on an area. That area is known as chart area. Is this clear, boys and girls? This is the fourth one. What is the fifth one? Is called as plot area. There is a difference between the chart area and plot area. What do you mean by chart area? The whole region. The data series will be there, you choose it. In different worksheet, you will have a diagram. You will have a chart. It will plot a graph. Right? That graph, only the area which is chosen, maybe in the spherical form, maybe in the vertical form, maybe in the area form, maybe in the line form. Right? So, these are called as the area which is chosen to draw the diagram is known as plot area. Right? The whole region is called as chart area. The area where it shows, depending upon the chart which you choose. Right? Then afterwards, walls and floors. What do you mean by walls and floors? This I want to elaborate today. Walls and floors. Walls and floors. Whenever we use this term, it always indicates 3D charts. What do you mean by 3D charts? And we call your pie chart or a histogram or a columnar chart. It can be seen in 2D as well as 3D. Right? What happens is, whenever we talk about the horizontal one in 3D, that is XY bar is known as walls, YZ bar is known as floors. Walls and floors are always used in 3D charts. In 3D charts. Right? Then followed by chart title. You have to be descriptive. Some text has to be given. What are you contemplating on? We are contemplating on sales of 4 regions of plots, isn't it? So the title has to be given. So the next one is called as what? Title of the chart title. The 7th one is what called as chart title. Means heading of your, what are you visiting? Now are you talking about the inventory, stock? What is the stock in there? warehouse. Or what is the sales? If you are talking about the sales, then you must talk about the sales. Okay, what is the projected, estimated sales? So these are then access titles. What do you mean by access title means? You give the title for x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. If you are using a 2D array or 2D plot, you will have x-axis and y-axis where you denote is it a time period or the sales. In this case, we are talking about the sales. So this axis title means if it is a 3D chart, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. We talk about that what is the x-axis meant for. Similarly, y-axis and the z-axis. Right. Then followed by legend. What do you mean by legend? If you have a columnar chart, what does this indicates? Each column on top of that, the legend will be there. Means title. Right? Title means not that right on top, like the main title. Every column, every portion will have its own label. That's called as legend. Right? Then grid lines. The backdrop of your chart, where you will have an x and y axis. Right? I am sure most of you must have used the graph sheet. Any practical notebook and the file in, you will find the at least 6 or 7 pages graph sheet will be there. That is the place where we plot the diagram in mathematics. Right? Similarly, if you wanted to give a graph sheet feeling, so you can bring the legend or your grid lines. What do we call that? Grid lines. GRID. Grid line means at the back, x and y axis, exactly like your graph sheet you will have. Right? Then followed by you have a data label. What do you mean by data label? Every data has been given a label. For example, this is the sales of a doll. In northern region is 2000. In the southern region 760. In the eastern region 860. And in the front region. What you need to do is the 11th one. It should be your chart title and the axis title. X-axis, y-axis, data series, chart area followed by plot area, walls and floors, chart title, then axis title followed by legend. Here I was supposed to write legend. Legend means the background will have x and y axis. These are all the various components of your chart, boys and girls. Now you have a ready-made button called this. On top of your keyboard, you have function keys. F11 if you press, automatically it will insert. It will insert certain chart. But by default, it's always the columnar chart. I will not advise you to use the F11, but you can try. You type some values. You type the chart, right? You type this. You type some values, select this range, then click on F11, automatically it will plot your chart, but that will be a columnar chart. I will not advise you to use that. Instead, what you do is, right on top, File, Edit, Insert. Click on the insert. When you click on the insert, you have the chart option. Click on the chart option. Then you have a variety of charts will be there. You one of the charts, whichever of your like, you can select. Before you select the chart, my dear boys and girls, the data series has to be chosen. The data series has to be chosen. So that after selecting the data series, then only you will be able to do the plotting of the chart. Right? These are the components of the chart. Then afterwards, we shall see here. There is a table, right? You select it. Now how do we do it? Now I told you the components of a chart. Now what I am going to tell you is how do we plot a chart. Plot a chart means select this from here A1 to F6. Select this. Click on the menu bar, insert chart. You have a variety of charts, as I told you in the previous class. 11 of them are there. Select whichever of your like, right? Whether it's a 2D or 3D, XY bar, or a area bar, or a pie chart, or a histogram, or a bar chart, or a whichever of you like. After selecting that, select. Once you select here, then it will ask you another one more submenu will come. Variety of charts will be there. Select one of them. Automatically you will see that. Then you can insert the title, you can insert the legends, you can insert the, you can bring the backdrop as a grid lines, right? This needs to be explored. I wish and pray, boys and girls, you need to type this certain table and explore by yourself. Let's go to page number 61 of your chapter number 2. Let us revise. Let us revise. This is the summary of the entire chapter. Charts are the pictorial representation of your worksheet data. Various charts that MS Excel gives. One is called as area chart, column chart, bar chart, line chart, pie chart, donut chart, stock chart, XY chart, bubble chart, radar chart, surface chart, conical chart, cylinder chart, followed by pyramid chart, etc. Right? Charts in MS Excel are saved in two different ways. One is called as embedded one and the one is called as chart sheet. What do you mean by embedded one? You type this table, right? Plot a chart. After plotting, when you save it, what happens is the data sheet is also going to be there. On top of that, your plotted diagram also will be there. It's called as embedded chart. No, I wanted to keep the data aside separately, and I wanted to keep the chart separately. Of course, you have a provision where you can charts can be saved separately. That provision is also there. Embedded chart is a chart that the object is placed on the worksheet and saved in that worksheet. Right? The chart is a sheet in a workbook that contains only a chart. What do you mean by chart sheet means? The data is replaced with the chart. If you undo it, we'll get back the data. Charts are created by pressing the F11 key. Mind you, boys and girls, F11 key lets you to select the default type, right? So this is what the plotting of the chart, and I wish and pray there are some MCQ. MCQ stands for multiple choice questions are there, right? It's quite easy one. Kindly do that. Right? That is 1 to 8 of them are there. There are certain questions where they give the true and false also there on page number 63. Right? Now, kindly solve this MCQ and true and false. Right? This is what the end of chapter number 3. Now let me just give the intro of the following, that is 4th chapter. It's called this algorithm and flowchart. Algorithms and flowcharts. Before I go to algorithms and flowchart, just let me tell you what we are up to. Now you guys are the budding programmers. In future point of time, you will really start writing the program, you start commanding your computer. What we have been using in these days, what is the difference between you and your counterpart in other two sections, like those who are taking the economics applications or the commercial applications? The difference is they are the computer users. They also know how to use the computer. You also know. But soon, you start writing the program. What do you mean by a program? You start instructing your computer will follow that. To start writing the program, there are certain fundamentals one need to know, right? Those days we had the concept called as drawing the flowchart. Or what are the procedures? Pseudo programming. Pseudo means false. Means then afterwards, these days we have a concept called as algorithms. We have a concept called as what? Algorithms, which I am going to tell you right away. What is an algorithm? Algorithm resembles like a recipe. However, algorithm is a technical term which is more specific meaning than the recipe, with a crispy description of start, process and end, etc. I'll give an introduction now. What is an algorithm? For example, I wanted to break this stick into pieces, right? There are four of us are there. Person number 1, person number 2, person number 3 and person number 4, right? What is the task is, each one is given a stick of this kind. I wanted to smash this stick, right? Whichever the way you want it, right? And the fifth person will evaluate who has done this job effectively. Who has done this job effectively. In other words, to break this one, to make it into pieces, we require what? Step-by-step procedures. This step-by-step procedure is known as an algorithm. That is what the fourth chapter is. Just let me introduce boys and girls. Computers have revolutionized our lives. Anyhow, those days, there is a concept. Before you start writing the program, you have to do the program pictorially or diagrammatically. It was known as a flowchart. Then the concept of pseudo programming came. Now we have the latest concept called as algorithm. Algorithm is nothing but step by step procedure of doing a task. It's known as an algorithm. Okay, this is an introduction of the chapter. Kindly do the chapter number 3. First question MCQ, multiple choice question and true and false. Take care boys and girls. Bye bye.